Tonight, before the mind tries to solve anything, before the day leaves its fingerprints on your thoughts, before you measure yourself against the hours you survived, I want you to arrive here. Here, in a place where the world remembers how to breathe. So settle into your pillow, let your shoulders loosen. Feel the gentle weight of your body sink toward the mattress. You don't have to hold yourself upright anymore. Not here. The day is closing like a book whose last page you've already finished. And the night is opening its palms. Listen for a moment, not to anything outside, but to the space inside you that finally becomes audible when everything else grows quiet. There is a rhythm, soft, steady, unhurried, like a creature sleeping in the hollow of a tree. Tonight, we follow that rhythm into the forest, into its breath, into the gentle intelligence that has existed long before any of us. So imagine now a path, not paved, not marked, simply there, waiting. The air cools first, not cold, just enough to lift the heat from your skin. And then comes the scent, earth, deep and damp, a sweetness like rain held in memory, the faint musk of roots and thyme. You take one slow step forward, then another, and the world you carried all day begins to loosen, like leaves drifting from your hands. Above you, the canopy thickens, branches lace together, stitching the sky into a softer darkness. Stars peek through the small promises, but even they seem drowsy tonight. With every step, the forest becomes more real than the day you left behind, more real than the tasks, the doubts, the quiet pressures that followed you like shadows. Here, the forest has room for you, room for your breath, room for your mind to unfold without fear of being seen. A gentle wind stirs, not enough to move you, just enough to remind you that even the air has a pulse. And as it brushes your cheeks, you realize something delicate. The forest is breathing, not metaphorically, not symbolically, truly breathing, taking in what you exhale, offering back what you need, an ancient exchange, a shared survival, a conversation older than language. So breathe with it now, slowly, in and out. Let each breath lengthen, soften like moss spreading across stone. You do not have to force calmness. You only have to allow it. The forest will do the rest. Tonight, you're not here to learn something. You're here to remember how quiet feels, how smallness can be comforting, how the world holds you even when you forget to ask. You walk a little deeper. The path widens. Though you don't recall seeing it shift, it feels intentional, as if the forest notices your tiredness and adjusts itself to welcome you. Light changes too. A soft green glow emanates from somewhere unseen, like bioluminescence tangled with moonlight. It doesn't illuminate the forest, it gentilizes it, softens the edges, renders everything slightly rounded, slightly slower, slightly kinder. As you breathe, your chest rises with less resistance. Your shoulders unhook from their invisible anchors. The mind, once a restless animal, curls up at your feet. There is nothing to chase here, nothing to solve, nothing to outrun. Only breath, only softness, only the quiet companionship of thousands of living things that ask nothing of you except presence. And as you finally pause to listen, you hear it. Not a sound exactly, more like a feeling, a subtle variation across the air, delicate as the moth's wings. The forest exhaling, a long, slow sigh that seems to say, "You are safe here. You may rest now. Let go." The breath carries through the branches, stirs the moss, ripples the unseen life beneath the soil. It passes through you too, like a hand brushing gently along your spine, reassuring, steady, ancient. You close your eyes just for a moment, and in that darkness, the forest becomes even more vivid. A sanctuary made of breath and memory. You're not entering the forest tonight. You are returning to it, a place your body has always known, even when your mind forgot. Your next breath is deeper, softer, warmer, and in this quiet beginning, your journey truly starts. Chapter 2: The Heartbeat Beneath the Roots. The path softens beneath your feet, as if the earth has begun cushioning every step you take, not to hurry you, but to ease you, to quiet you, to welcome you deeper into its hidden rhythm. The forest breathes, and now, as you listen more closely, you begin to hear something else, a pulse. It is not loud, it does not insist on being noticed. It's more like the gentle thrum you feel When you rest your head on someone's chest and hear the faint, steady beating, that reminds you, I am not alone. That is what the forest is offering now. A heartbeat, ancient, slow, reassuring. You pause for a moment, tilt your head slightly, and there it is again. Thump, thump, thump. Slow as time before clocks. Slow as mountains growing. Slow as roots drinking the memory of ancient rain. This pulse is not coming from one direction. It moves beneath everything, under the soil, through the roots, inside the trunks, and into the leaves that tremble softly overhead. It's the forest's circulatory system, a language without words, a conversation older than any human breath. You step off the path and kneel beside a wide, moss-covered root. The moss is cool, soothing like a damp cloth gently placed on a fevered forehead. You press your palm against it. The heartbeat meets your hand, and for the first time tonight, your own heartbeat begins to slow toward its rhythm. Two tempos aligning, two lives breathing together, the forest and you. And with that, a memory rises, not of an event, but of a feeling. This is the pace I was meant to live at. Not the rush, not the noise, not the pressure to become something more, something bigger, something faster. Here, your existence isn't measured, it simply is. Leaves rustle overhead, not urgently, not in warning, just in acknowledgement. Like a quiet wave from an old friend across a room, you rise again, gently, and continue walking. As you move, you notice how the roots beneath the ground intertwine like hands held in the dark. They touch, they share, they pass information like whispers traveling through bone. Scientists sometimes call this the wood wide web, a network of living threads carrying nutrients, signals, warnings, support. But the forest doesn't call it anything. It simply is what it has always been: connection. A tree falling does not fall alone. A sapling growing does not grow alone. A leaf trembling in distant wind sends its message home. And for the first time in a long, long time, you realize something that untangles a quiet ache inside you. You were never meant to carry everything alone either. Here, solitude doesn't mean isolation. It means joining a silence that holds thousands of lives within it. Your footsteps become lighter, slower, more deliberate as the heartbeat beneath you continues its steady pulse. Thump, thump, thump. Every time you breathe in, the forest exhales. Every time you exhale, a tree drinks in your breath and turns it into something living. This reciprocity, this soft exchange, has been happening since long before the world learned your name, and it will continue long after your worries dissolve like morning mist. You reach out to a nearby trunk. Its bark is rough but warm, as if holding sunlight it gathered earlier in the day. Your fingers trace its pattern, feeling ridges that look almost like wrinkles. Lines carved by weather, by seasons, by time slowly folding back onto itself. The tree stands tall, ancient, unhurried, yet it leans ever so slightly toward you, almost imperceptibly, like someone leaning in to hear you better. You whisper nothing, and still it listens. Your breath deepens. Your shoulders release one more layer of tension. You didn't realize you were holding. The forest heartbeat continues. Thump, thump, thump. And for a brief luminous moment, you feel like your own heart is being retuned. Not changed, not fixed, just returned to a frequency that fits you better. A gentler one, a kinder one, one that isn't afraid of slowing down. You begin walking again, not because you must, but because the forest quietly invites you deeper. And something inside you, some part of you that has always been tired for far too long, says yes. Chapter 3: The Lanterns of the Understory. As you go deeper, the forest changes subtly around you. The tall trunks that once declared themselves like columns in a cathedral begin to give way to a quieter level, the understory, where smaller trees, ferns, and shy plants make their lives out of gentler light. Here, light is not an arrival, it's a guest. It slips in through gaps, pulling in pale diamonds on the forest floor, and then moves on, never overstaying. The air holds a softer glow, the kind that makes shadows look like velvet. Small motes of dust and pollen hang in the beams like slow floating stars. This place feels like a room lit by lanterns, not the harsh blue light of a screen, but warm amber circles that invite you to sit down and unburden yourself. You notice tiny lanterns, truly not the man made kind, but living pockets of light, mushrooms with translucent caps, catching the moon's hush and turning it into a warm internal lamp. Myriad little flowers that open like lanterns when touched by breath. Glowworms tucked into crevices, blinking their quiet Morse code. They do not shout for your attention. They merely glow, steady, unassuming. You walk slowly between them, careful not to startle their steady luminescence. Each step is a soft punctuation in the night's sentence. There is a hush here, not empty, but full of small comforting sounds. The tiny footfall of a beetle on the leaf, the distant drip of water through leaves, the faint rustle of a sleeping bird shifting in its nest. The lanterns of the understory are patient teachers. They remind you that light does not always have to be bright to be meaningful. Sometimes the smallest glow is all you need to find your way. You find a fallen log, softened by moss, and make yourself comfortable. Its wood is warm from holding the day, now cooling into evening. You sit, and the forest settles around you like a shawl. Breathe in, the air tastes of green things, chlorophyll, sun-warmed leaves, a hint of distant rain. Breathe out, your breath curls like soft smoke and dissolves into the lantern glow. The lanterns keep their slow vigil. They hum without a voice, a lullaby older than words, and you begin quietly, without thinking, to hum back. It is a soft note, almost nothing, but enough. The forest replies, not with a roar, not with teaching, but with a gentle, encompassing silence that feels like an answer. Stay here a little longer. Let the tiny lights guide you inward. Let their warmth remind you that even in darkness, there is kind, steady illumination. With each breath, your thoughts thin out. With each exhale, tension slips like old bark coming away from a tree. And as your mind becomes more still, the lanterns turn their gaze to the next level of the forest. That quiet, busy world below the surface. When you are ready, we'll listen to it together. Chapter 4: The Whisper Network. Beneath your feet, beneath the moss, beneath the cool layer of soil where beetles dream and roots curl like sleeping serpents, there is a world you cannot see. Yet it holds you as gently as the forest's breath itself. This is the Whisper Network, a hidden realm where roots reach for one another, where threads of fungi weave through the earth like soft, luminous silk, where information travels not with noise, but with nourishment. Down here, nothing shouts, nothing fights to be heard. Messages smooth like sighs, quiet, certain, ancient. You shift your weight slightly on the mossy ground, and it feels as though the earth exhales in greeting. A warmth rises beneath your palms, subtle but unmistakable, like touching the back of someone's hand in the dark and feeling their pulse against your skin. This is how the forest speaks, not through words, not through sound, but through connection. You close your eyes, and suddenly the unseen becomes almost visible. Threads glow faintly beneath the soil, thin as hairs, but strong as intention. They stretch outward in every direction, linking the tall cedar to the sleeping fern, the mushroom to the fallen branch, the sapling to the ancient oak who has seen centuries pass like brief, quiet dreams. This network hums with purpose, not urgency, but continuity. If a tree is thirsty, the network tells the others. If a pest invades, a quiet alarm moves through the soil. If a sapling struggles in shade, nearby trees soften their growth to share more sun. There are no arguments here, no competing schedules, only cooperation, silent and soft as breath. You breathe deeply, and it occurs to you. Humans were never meant to be disconnected either. A gentle warmth rises from the earth into your hands, your legs, your spine. It's not heat, it's something softer, like understanding. And you realize something you've forgotten for a long time. Even when you feel alone, you are a part of a living network that holds you quietly, patiently, in ways you cannot always see. The Whisper Network continues beneath you, moving slow messages from root to root. It feels like a lullaby without melody, a reassurance without words. You lean forward, brushing the soil lightly with your fingertips. It crumbles gently, rich and cool, filled with the remnants of lives that came before, fallen leaves, forgotten branches, rainstorms, sunlight, time. Everything becomes part of everything else. And so will you, but not in a way that should frighten you, in a way that should comfort you, because it means you belong. You listen closer, and the network seems to whisper in a language your body understands more than your mind. Slow down. You are supported. You are part of something gentle and vast. You do not have to hold everything alone. Chapter 5, The Breath of the Forest. You rest now in the deepest cradle of the night, your body supported by roots older than memory, your breath joined with the slow rhythm of the forest's dreaming heart. Everything around you has grown very still, not silent, just still in that sacred, reassuring way that tells your nervous system there is nothing left to do. The pulse of the forest dims to a soft glow, steady and warm, as though it is holding a lantern just for your dreams. Your breath falls effortlessly into its rhythm. Inhale, long, smooth, drifting. Exhale, longer, softer, unraveling tension, like thread slipping from a spool. The edges of your awareness grows hazy, like the world is dissolving into mist, so gentle it feels like being wrapped in warm twilight. Above you, the canopy sways with slow intention, each leaf turning its soft face toward the moon, each branch exhaling the day and welcoming the quiet of the night. For a moment, the entire forest breathes in, and you feel the faint pull, like the world gathering you close. Then it exhales, and your body sinks deeper into the moss lined earth, deeper into stillness, deeper into the warm dark that waits for no one but welcomes everyone. You are drifting now. Thoughts appear only as distant shapes, small, soft, unattached. They rise, float, fade like leaves on a gentle current. Nothing clings, nothing tightens, nothing asks for your effort. The forest breathes for you. With every inhale, the air fills your chest like cool, luminous mist, clearing, softening, easing. With every exhale, your body releases a little more weight, a little more noise, a little more of the day that once felt so heavy. The night shifts. A long breeze rolls through the trees, crossing branches, traveling through roots, moving across the lake and storing the floating rain into silver spirals. It reaches you last, a tender wind, warm and slow, carrying the forest's final message. You feel it settle on your cheeks, your eyelids, your hands, and the message is simple. Rest. You are safe. You are held. Let yourself sleep. The ground beneath you warms just lightly, a soft embracing heat that seeps into your back, your legs, your spine. Your body grows heavier, but your mind grows lighter, as though you're sinking downward and floating upward at the same time. A feeling of being rocked moves through you, so gentle you barely notice it, but steady enough that your breathing deepens in response. Inhale, slow and deep. Exhale, slow and warm. Around you, the forest dims its glow even further, as though lowering its lanterns to let you sleep in darkness without fear. The floating rain settles into still air. The dreaming leaves fold their colors inward. The unfinished stars settle deeper into the lake. The ancient tree grows quiet and warm, and the pulse at the center of the forest beats like a lullaby meant only for you. You are drifting, drifting deeper, drifting softly, drifting peacefully into a night that will hold you all the way into morning. Your breath is slow, your limbs heavy, your eyelids warm. The forest takes a long inhale, slow and serene. Then it exhales, a deep, enveloping sigh that feels like the whole world releasing its tension. You release with it. Your mind loosens. Your dreams rise quietly. Your body sinks into rest. The night folds itself around you, soft as moss, warm as memory, steady as breath. And as the forest settles into silence, you hear its final whisper, a whisper that is meant to follow you into sleep. You are part of this breath and always have been. Rest now, sleep deeply, and let the forest dream you home. The glow fades, your thoughts soften, the forest dims to darkness, and sleep arrives quietly like dawn entering a still room. Here, in the heart of the forest, your night begins.